Good evening! Welcome to this week's episode of Ones Upon a Roll. Last we left off, the group had found themselves a little bit at home alongside the No Man's Bandit, setting up on the outskirts of their little camp and getting to know Hasside, his group of friends, and the bandit, or the tribe in general. They went hunting aboard their sand-faring skiffs. They had some nice drinks together and a little bit of chats until you received a message via the sending stone that had been given to you by Olafor. The message being that he should expect a contact within a couple weeks' time. You took that message to Zavak, the tribal chieftain of this group of bandits and their families, and together devised a plan to see exactly how it was that the Yuan-Ti slavers were crossing this sea of quicksand and what you could do to acquire those means. Setting up stations along the coast of the quicksand sea, you scouted out the horizon for a number of days before spotting something approaching in the distance. Converging on the location, you noticed a large ship that was sailing towards you across the sand, defying pretty much everything you know about ships and quicksand in general, but there it is. You all took your means, whether it be by some of the bandit sand skiffs, or from your guildie, the Golden Dragonel, or the newly summoned Pegasus of Netherdians. You flew out across the quicksand sea towards the ship and began to engage the Yuan-Ti crew in battle. Through various means, most of which involved sending the enemy overboard and to their demise in the quicksand, you fought and overtook the ship. And that is where we left off and where we will pick up now. Any questions before we get on with it? Very well. So, over the course of the next few minutes, Hasside, along with some of the bandits, get together and instruct on sending some skiffs back to the shore and ferrying their supplies to the large ship. The ship itself is about 180 feet long and about 25 feet across at its widest point. From what you can see, it sails fairly similarly to a normal galleon or seafaring ship, that being wind-driven with 3 large masts, 1 main mast and 2 mizzen, that hold sails of various sizes. The thing that you do notice, however, is that the keel, the bottom of the ship itself, does not go below the sand. It is actually flat bottom, much like the skiffs, and it is larger at the base and kind of tapers off concave towards the upper decks. It's sort of as much surface area as possible displaced across the quicksand, and that leads to its ability to travel the way it does. You see Hasside over the railing speaking to some of the bandits that come back. You can see them driving the skiffs, and they have cuts, batters, bruises, the signs of the battle that they had fought with the Yuan-Ti that didn't make it to shore. Then you overhear bits of their conversation. Fought them pretty well there, Hasside. Nearly to a standstill. A lot of them scattered to the sands and made their ways away. They are not going to be too happy about that if word gets back to their brothers. I see. So you are not able to get rid of all of them. That is fine. What about our losses? Thankfully, not many. Very well. In that case, you take a good portion of the men. You return to our home and you tell Zavak what has happened here. And let every man know that even if they are not joining us on this journey, once we return with the reward and the spoils, It will be divvied up evenly between all men who fought and women who fought here today. I will do. And they begin the process of ferrying, continuing to use the three skiffs to ferry supplies back from the shore and out into the quicksand sea where currently the large ship that you're on is sort of anchored out and moored. You all are currently on the upper deck of the ship, some on the more upper bow and stern of the ship. That you find yourself behind the large wheel of the ship, Elevorn, currently kind of towards the front, overlooking the sand across. There's not been anyone that has gone below decks quite yet, as you're all still in the process of recouping from the battle. What do you guys do?
I think that it would probably be a good idea to go talk to my friends, some of towards Nerdion and Dront, and just
A hush hush huddle?
yeah, sort of.
Okay, so
Huddle
you
time.
guys gather up on the far side, away from where all of the supplies are currently being lugged up, and some of them are beginning to now be transferred below decks. But you guys are kind of huddled up now together.
Do we have any idea how this works? Kind of stamping my foot on the boat a little.
I I don't even know how a normal boat works, I mean, I know rowing boats, but I don't know ships. I don't know any of. No.
I'm not that familiar with this, not at all.
Not that familiar. Durand would probably be the one that would have the most experience, but nothing of this size or this sophistication. The most that you would have experience with is larger than a rowing boat, but definitely kind of like small trawlers that your clan had for fishing. Nothing of this scale. You have sailed before, but you never got particularly proficient at it. Again, all those ancillary tasks and skills that the training soldiers in your clan were also required to take part in never really piqued your interest as much as the learning how to fight and defend yourself and your family did. One of the bandits comes down from below, maybe about 10 feet away from where you are, and shouts out towards the side. Hey, aside, we have some, looks like some slaves down here. Seems like they were transporting them. Maybe about a dozen or so. What do we do with them?
I definitely Neri will perk up with that, and I don't have slaves over there, I think. So, I'm
Definitely catches you all's selective hearing.
just gonna go. I'm gonna go look.
Okay.
Just in case.
Goes down opens up and goes down the hatch to the below decks area. Oh, what just happened? Okay. You head down, and you can see that there are some bandits that are organizing things, and there are a group of slaves who are. Doesn't look like they've been chained up, but they are definitely sort of huddled together. They're not sure what went on. They probably heard the sounds of battle and are now seeing these new strange people, not sure what to make of them, and it doesn't seem like anyone's approached them just yet. But there are individuals of all different races, genders, and like the slave said, about a dozen of them. You see humans, half-elves, a half orc, a couple of gnomes. They're all dressed in the same sort of dirty desert robe clothing. So now that Dion head down, Dadan, Elevon, are you going down as well, or what are you doing?
Yeah, we'll follow after. Or I'll follow
Okay.
after.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I just wanted to, let her have. It's important, so just
Yeah.
kind of like slowly follow behind her,
Yeah.
so she has.
I'll say no check required. Now that Dion, a quick scan, like of what you're obviously looking for. You do not see your mother amidst these slaves.
Disappointedly, just sit in on. If there's a crate or something, I'm just gonna sit on it and like, oh, of course it couldn't be this easy.
So, I guess seeing Mary sitting on the crate when we come down, I'd just be like, "Are you okay?"
I'm fine in the sense. Otherwise, it's just. I mean, it would have been too easy if she would have been here in the ship.
Yeah, you're right. It would be, and then I'm just going to kind of walk towards the slaves and be like, "Hi, how are you doing? Probably not great."
One of the close ones, a young adult, human male. Where are the ones? Who are you people?
There's a lot of explaining to do, but they're in the sand now, and shouldn't be bothering us again for a while.
Oh, well, that is good. Good news. One of the half orc speaks up. It's one of female. You can tell by the cadence of the voice and the features. Well, I guess that would be good. Depends on what it is you have in store for us.
Well, I'd like to send you back from wherever you came from. Maybe not in this moment, because that's a little tricky as we're in the middle of the desert, and but I think eventually.
You're not going to keep us. You're not going to
Heavens,
keep
no.
us.
Why would they keep you?
That seemed to be the lives for the past while now. We're free to go then. And you see
I
that
wouldn't
it's like,
say you should just run into the desert. It's quite a perilous journey. I mean, you could if you wanted. No, I couldn't really. Don't do that.
I mean, what other options do we have then?
I mean, she means currently it's impossible to leave the ship because there's that sand over there that will, you will drown in it. So, and unless we turn the ship, go to some more firm land, then I don't know.
Aside now is beginning to come down as one of the slaves, a gnome, speaks up. If I may, I am not too unfamiliar with these parts, and I'm sure that with a little bit of knowledge on where we are could at least lead us as far back as Twinbon.
Are you the guy with the shop in the town?
If you're talking about the tinkery, yes, that I suppose seems like a lifetime ago, but yes, you've My reputation precedes me, I see. Yes, Yimin Wivel at your service. I apologize for. Well, I've not in the best of conditions as I once have been.
Sorry, I was just so excited I forgot your name. But we met your wife.
Oh, you did. How is she? Well, I hope. She must be worried out her ears. I promised to have. Oh, it's just been an awful mess I've made.
I'm sure they'll be just happy to know that you're safe.
Haside comes down. Oi, Wivel. It's been a while, long time. Why'd you run off for? Haside. Yes, about that. I got a little nervous. I see. I was oh, it probably was incorrect of me. I didn't know exactly what it was that you were going to. And to be fair, once I got taken up by the Yuan, I mean, in comparison, you all are quite a nice lot of people, and I should have trusted you more. This guy just kind of leans back against the ladder that leads back up and grins down towards the gnome. What have they got you on the sheep for? It hasn't been long since they taken you. Have you already been passed around a bit? No, no. From my understanding, I wasn't going to be sold. They had me doing work much like the ones that I was working with on you, and they kept me along for this journey because there's a bit of my inventions on board, and they don't know how to operate them. So, in case anything went wrong, that's what I'm here for.
You know how this works?
As far as the ship itself, not so much, but there are a few modified hoops that have been installed and can be operated to give the little bit more speed and control. But as far as actually sailing the ship, no, not that I can't even see over the wheel. Aside, kind of looks to the three of you. From what I have seen here, the ship of this size and the provisions we have, we can probably house a crew of perhaps 20. I would prefer it that members of our crew as much be those ready to take up arms on the Yuan T once we get to where it is we are going. So, if it is amenable, then we can take the, former slaves here back to shore on board the skiffs and at least escort them as far as Twinbon. At least point them in the right direction. Oh my god! Otherwise, I am not sure that we will have quite the force that we are hoping to have to overtake the slavers.
Not to mention, I don't think they would want to go back even close to that place.
So what is it that you had them all here for? You say, Yamin, you were not to be sold. The rest of you, were you? Yamin continues, no, I do not believe so. This was a journey to, I believe they were going to pick up more slaves and bring them back at a later time. They keep a small amount of us here to, in some way, operate and maintain the ship, operate the cells and manpower, forced labor, more or less. I see, so there are some of you then that know how more or less this thing works. You can see some of them looking nervous because... Actually, someone make an insight check, please.
22.
Some of the slaves look nervous, none of them really too keen on answering, because it seems like, yeah, they do have some knowledge on how to sail this ship. But they know what that means if, you're heading back to the slavers.
How long would it take to learn how to operate this? Any sort of idea?
They could probably run us through the simples and not too long, but I doubt much of that will stick, and once we get loaded up and the crew situated, we should probably be on our way sooner rather than later. I will say, he kind of lowers his voice so that only the three of you can hear. If there is some of the tech like that is used in our skiffs here, Weevil there, he's the one that made it possible for our sand skiffs to operate. We do not know how they work. We had more before. Some of them has since gone bad, and he's the only one that can fix them up. If this ship has the similar technologies, then it might be best to keep him around. I understand why that might not be ideal, but it's just my thought.
Yeah, it might not be the most ideal thing, but at the same time, whichever of these people know how to use the ship or operate it, then, they don't have to join us on the fight. They can stay on the ship, and hopefully the Yuan-Tis don't board the ship.
Well,
They will be safe here, right?
Who's to say? I cannot say for certain, and for certain where we are going is not necessarily a safe place. Though, if we leave them out in the sea, I don't see how that can, how they could be in danger, but I do not wish to be held accountable for that. Clearly, he says, raising his voice, these people here are now free to go and do as they wish, yes? With that being said, perhaps we could offer some of them perhaps a bit of work and payment for that work?
Well, more than that. I can't imagine what you've all been through. I say, walking away and addressing the people that are chained up. Maybe starting to monkey with stuff to see if I can get them unhooked. But any of you that want this not to happen to other people, to have your suffering be there are other people. We want to stop what's happening to you, what's happened to you, what's going on. If any of you are willing to help us, yes, payment, but also more than payment, motivating you is better.
One of the humans speaks up. What exactly is it that you are doing? You talk about ending this. You're going to them, back.
Yes, they've taken people that we need to find, and what they're doing is wrong beyond that. Even if I didn't know you, and I don't know you, I know that what's been done to you is wrong. And I don't want to just idly stand by and watch it happen to others.
Yeah, they took your freedom, and I'm not going to stand for that.
One of them continues. I can only speak for myself, but I haven't known a life other than subjugation for well over half of my years. And there are people that I grew up with that I consider family that have stuck with me and have motivated me and have gotten me through the toughest of times on the other side of the sea, and they're still over there. I'm not much of a fighter. Not at all. If you need a set of hands that could help you get there and navigate this ship back there, I can't say no. There's a few murmurings, and some people, despite this, still are definitely seem like they're waiting for the opportunity to say, okay, can we go now? The human man and the half-orc are the only two that immediately volunteer. The others, you can see there's either severe doubt or just a absence of any sort of hope in their eyes.
Do you know who has the keys? Like, so I can. I'm bad at this.
I can. I mean, I'm not sure if we have keys anymore, and I'll just get up and start at least lockpicking some.
Easy enough. Haside speaks up. If these two are knowledgeable enough, then we will have others from my tribe, as well as the three of you here, that can follow their lead and instruction, and certainly we can make do. However, that does still leave ye men. If something goes wrong, actually, ye men, can you show us where exactly on the ship your hoops are located? I did not see any topside. Yeah, as Nedadian finishes with his cuffs and he kind of walks over. Yes, they actually had two rather large ones, and they're not too far from here. If you come with me around this way, you'll see that, and basically he shows you that there are two hoops that are essentially affixed to where that there are slits, large, like sort of panel slits in the side of the ship, where these hoops can be extended outwards on either side and then activated to either propel the ship even further or used to turn and steer the ship better. And they work like your other ones. Yes, much like the ones for your skiffs. They work similarly, a bit more powerful, but same concept, yes. Inside looks to the three of you, or to whoever, I guess not Nedadiana, she's still working on unchaining people.
Yeah, I'll probably. There's no
My
point.
gut instinct tells me that if anything is to go wrong with these things, and if we need them at any time, without him in here, we would be a bit out of luck. But I do not wish to keep him here against his will. I've seen what the little man can do when he thinks that he is being kept somewhere. And last time I thought that, I ended up in a much worse spot, yes. So, what are we to do with him then? I would like you all to make a perception check, please.
Pen.
Not
What was that, Ella?
That was a natural one. I'm not sure I made it to the room. I got distracted somewhere.
Durant?
$22.
22. Durand, as you're talking with Aside, examining this thing and thinking over the whole dilemma with Yemen, you take a deep breath and kind of just exhale deeply and... Is that smoke? You smell burning from above you.
That's a fire? No way. One moment. If I could rush up,
Alright.
see what it
Delon,
is.
you rush up, follow your nose, and you're on the main deck right now, and you rush forward. There's a door that leads to some sort of quarters on the front end of the ship, and as you get closer, you can smell that acrid odor coming from that. You go to open the door, and it does open, but it doesn't open immediately. It seems like it's been blocked with something, like a chest or a drawer has been slid in front of the door.
The hell?
But as you open it, just a crack, you can see wisps of black smoke billowing out from the crack that you've made.
Can I try to force it?
Strength check. Come on, big boy.
Unnatural 20.
Yeah, you push and you hear the sound of wood on wood scraping as you open it up, and you can see in the middle of this sort of small room, the outside of it is sort of lined with this large cushioned bench, but in the middle there's a table that's been tossed over and a large basin, like a wash basin is currently lit with fire, and there is an individual, a humanoid looking creature, but with snake-like slits for eyes, that's currently now peering up at you and is seemingly tossing scrolls, papers into the fire.
What can I do? Oh, magic. Of course. I can do this. It's fast enough? Yeah. I'll use command
Okay.
and tell him to drop. Yeah, that's a command here. Perfect.
Drop. Alright, and what is the check and what is your DC?
Circumstances DC 15 wisdom saving throw.
It's a natural 20.
Oh my god.
He looks at you with the papers, and he drops them into the fire.
Alright, well, fuck it, I'm gonna run up to him and grab him.
It's like,
Try
no,
that.
stay back! Go ahead and make a grapple check, I guess, as you kind of leap over him and... yeah, don't even bother, it's a 2. You restrain him, it's like... it's too late, you're too late.
What the hell did you just burn?
Maps, charts, anything you'll need to find us lost.
Well, I mean, we still have you.
What? Nice. I'll never. You'll get nothing out of me.
I have a friend I could introduce to you that you're going to probably regret saying that.
Do your worst. You can tell by this man's struggling, and he doesn't seem nearly as capable as the other Yuan-Ti that you had fought. He doesn't seem like much of a combatant.
I'll call the
You
others.
Grab.
Yeah.
Okay. Bracelet. Fire still going in front of you.
Yeah, I need a hand. I need a hand here, guys.
Where are you?
Just above.
Okay, so I run on and start looking.
I'll go after.
Okay. You finish up with the last of the people as Elevon is climbing up. Elevon, you climb up and you can see that there's a little bit of a crowd of about 4 bandits that are kind of peeking into the door past this, into this chamber that looks like it's a bit of a mess. It's been tossed a bit, but in the middle there you can see Durand holding this humanoid creature behind this this basin of burning material.
Can I run in and overturn the basin?
Do you want to overturn the burning basin onto the wooden ship?
Yeah. Just press it down because it won't have air then, right?
Completely overturn it.
I'm not just knocking it over, I'm flipping it over and smooshing it down so that it is now like a closed. I don't have anything to put over it that isn't flammable on me. I'm kind of flammable myself. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, don't throw
I'm
yourself
kinda
over.
myself. Okay.
I'm going to smother it with my body, please, and
Don't
so
do
I
it.
can
Shut
spare
up.
the ship. Yes,
Shut up.
I'll save the ship.
You go and you flip it over.
No,
There's a
I flip
scattering
on my
of
fire resistance there, and now I do it.
Oh, smart.
Stop.
Wait, no, I like it.
It's done. I like
Okay,
it. I'm doing
so-
I
it.
like it too.
Elevorn rushes in. She sees it. Her armor just expands with this glow of orange energy. She kind of does a turn, tucks herself, and just lands in the basin and starts rolling around in it. I guess.
Oh my god.
How big is it?
What?
I didn't ask for dimensions.
It's not
I was
that big
picturing,
enough
like,
for
a
you to roll
small
around
thing,
in it.
but-
No, but you're kind of. I say roll around. You're more just like writhing in.
Sure.
And you take 2 points of fire damage, halved to 1. As the embers and smolders do kind of lick and tickle at your flesh, but like for the most part, they begin to die down into these sort of charcoal, ashen, little smoldering bits of paper that are remaining there.
Just like shake my head at Elavorn a little bit and Durand, you need some help with that guy because I'm kind of like lifting my arm and wiggling it to show the bracelet, the snake bracelet.
That's a
Yeah.
good idea.
Okay, I'll toss the bracelet on the floor and command the snake to go and grapple the guy instead of Durand.
Okay. So the giant constrictor snake wraps itself around this guy, and Durand, you feel like he is sufficiently restrained as he's now kind of laying on the bench with the snake wrapped around him.
Breathing on its neck.
Yep.
It's the little tongue every now and then, like. How did you find? How did you? What was he doing?
He was burning these papers, maps and stuff. He said.
As Elevon gets out bits of paper and ash in her hair and on her clothes. He was, and it looks like he did. There's not much to salvage. There are bits and scraps of small pieces that have some recognizable ink on them, but nothing, not enough to even piece together and reconstruct a complete document.
Well, I guess we have him.
That's what I said.
You know, for the record, Dune, I wasn't sure who you were talking about when you said you had a friend that could make him talk. I don't know if you meant Derry or
Either
Ella.
one, honestly.
Intimidation.
Honestly, either one of them. Like in the immediate thought, the most like intimidating person at that moment would have probably been Elevorn, the first thing that come to my head. I mean, let's be honest, the first thing that comes to Duran's head would be Elevorn just in general for anything, but but now
I
seeing
mean, she
Mary
just
here, it's
threw
like, oh
herself
yeah, you too.
onto burning embers, so that's pretty scary.
Quite an introduction, yeah.
Yeah.
This woman is readily willing to jump into fire.
Alright, so the fire is out.
I'm just gonna still like go through the ashes and stuff, like trying to find something, even though I might not. But
You doing, like I said, there's no complete or even partially like salvageable bits. There's some things that do resemble maps and charts, but only small fragments of them. The rest is ash.
so, we need to get him to talk.
Maybe make sure none of his friends are still around either. If they have some other ideas like him. But this won't even get past us.
Well, we really didn't go down anywhere while we were fighting, and only after that, I heard that there were slaves, and I don't think nobody just, didn't think of to check the boat fully. I guess, I don't know.
Yeah, it's whatever. We'll be fine either way.
Alright, someone go ahead. 2 people go to make investigation checks, or one with advantage to scour the rest of the ship and see if you could find any other hideaways.
I'm busy dusting myself off. I've got stuff everywhere.
I'll go check. I'll do it. Give me.
And I'll do it too. And so 28 for me.
Okay, Durant.
Mm, 21.
Alright, you scour the rest of the ship. You don't find any other Yuan-Ti. You do find a few caches of weaponry and even some chests of gold and other nice things. No other Yuan-Ti, no other seeming like records of navigational documents or charts or maps, though. But you do find no Yuan-Ti and about 600 gold.
Oh shit, nice.
So, while they're gone, because I didn't want to do it in front of them, because I'm not proud of myself, I'm gonna do a thing.
Oh, a thing.
Haha.
What are you doing?
I'm going to cast Geas on this person.
Ooh.
What?
Hell yeah! My favorite anime. Let's go.
It's yours too? Since when?
Gios has always been my favorite anime.
Really? Oh,
It was
me
both
too.
of ours.
Yes, I didn't know if you moved on past it.
Oh god, no. There's nothing better.
I know, right? Anyways,
What does that spell do? I mean, if
Literally the same thing, but
You
better, I
place a
think.
magical command on the creature that you can see within range, forcing it to carry out some service or refrain from some action or course of activity as you decide. If the creature can understand you, it must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or become charmed by you for the duration, which is 30 days.
Oh my god.
well, I mean,
you have that prepared?
I only asked because the snake is still, holding on to the.
visual. So what's this? Is it like Elevorn Vilaroo commands you, or what is it?
I don't have a last name. I'm not cool enough.
Wisdom saving throw. What is your spell save DC?
I think it's 16 now.
Okay, hold on. I'm looking for this dice.
Oh dear.
Is 7 bigger or smaller than 16?
Oh my god.
7. So, what happens? You make sure no one else is around. Durand and Nedadion have gone to examine the ship. You're like, you guys go ahead. Just gonna dust myself off, la di da. And then they leave, and you slowly turn back towards this restrained Yuan Ti, the slit, snake-like eyes staring up at you in defiance. Still restrained by the constrictor snake. You may as well just kill me now.
So then we're going to do the dramatic, like, all the pose from the anime and point at him.
Why am I not there?
Because you went and I couldn't.
You're going to do everything in your power to help us get back to where you're keeping all the slaves and your home town, whatever it's called.
Started off so good.
It's Elevorn.
Yeah, Eleanor at
He
its
looks
best.
into your eyes. The look of defiance turns to wide-eyed. You wait, no, and then it's on the eye. The face goes sort of solemn. When would you like to start?
As soon as possible.
He's struggling to get out of the restraint of the
Couldn't
snake.
tell the snake. I'm like, talk to the snake and be like, can you let him go? I don't even know if you're a real snake.
It does no. But eventually, Nedadion and Daran do return after, just pouches of counting gold. Nedadion is, Daran comes back, kind of like, okay, whatever, and sees the snake man Yuan Ti still kind of just struggling to get out as he's needing to help get
I'm
back
like,
to this
dusting
other.
my hair out, and I'm like, hey Mary, do you still have paper? I think he might want to help us now. He said something, I don't know.
I mean, I have paper. I'm curious about what you did to him. I mean,
What do you mean? I've got so much junk in my hair from doing that. Wasn't very smart.
well, unless somebody else came over here and did something to him, but I don't think it is very willingly helpful just because of the snake. But we can talk about this later, I guess, and I'll take out a journal and paper and ink and quill, and I guess I'll also command the snake off,
Okay.
like the phrases and stuff.
Well, he looks to Elf when he stands up. I don't have everything exactly memorized, but I know the general direction, and I can help sail the ship there.
You really did a number on him.
I've just been cleaning. I don't. Okay. Anyway, what do you know? He's better with boats, and I'm going to walk away.
Okay.
I'm looking at Durand a bit like what the hell happened over here? It's like,
The Yuan Ti goes over, writes one of the tables, takes the paper and quill and rolls out as big as he can. So let's see, we should be around here, and he starts to chart out a course as best as he can. Okay. Looks up to the two of you who are kind of baffled at this. Is there Anything I can do for you?
I guess help me drive this thing.
Absolutely, yes. If it's all right. Let's see. Depends. This ship does require a crew. Will we have a crew just to man the sails and all of the necessary stations? I can get you a list of exactly how many and what they should do, or if you want to handle that, you can yourself.
Um, I'll, I'll, I'll get everybody I can.
Alright, there are some slaves in the hold. Certain ones are more apt than others, and I would suggest keeping one around, as he is crucial for the operation of a specific aspect of the ship. A gnome by the name of Yimin.
I see.
Otherwise, I believe I can chart things out as we get underway. I'm supposed to get you there as soon as I can. So, once you are ready to get underway, just let me know and we will head up to the helm. I will show you how to steer and navigate the ship.
Okay. Okay, the stick with me, though.
Oh, I'm not done with the chart yet, but sure.
Well, yeah,
I can do my best to write while walking, but if I'm going to be as accurate, I need tools. I need the tools. Sextant.
You're fine. I'll stick with you then.
Okay. Duran takes a seat behind as this Yuan Ti is just sort of feverishly drawing out, dipping the ink and the quill into ink and doing his best to chart a course through the desert back to the Yuan Ti camp.
Well, Neri, if you could, I guess, do me a favor and get everybody willing.
Sure. Yeah. I'll do that.
Okay. So you go and you can see that the skiffs are still making trips back and forth from the ship. This time now they are beginning to be bringing back slaves 2 at a time, the ones that have not elected to stay on the ship. Currently there are still just the 2 that decided that they would stay and help run the ship to get back. And then there's still the issue of Yemen.
This. I don't know. I shouldn't say this is the last chance to say that you want to stay and help us out, but anybody who is willing to, besides, I like kind of motion to the 2 that were willing, want to help, would follow me down to the just follow me, please. If anybody is willing to help, we need people to do this thing. I don't know what to say about this whole ship thing, whatever it is, but
you can see a lot of them are still very tentative. They're kind of like looking to you and then looking back towards the skiffs that are heading out and the coastline on the shore on the other side. The side comes up. If the 2 of them here, if they can take the role of some sort of command and instruct my people on what they need to do, we will have hands, and space is something that we also need to take account of. We need to be taking as many fighters with us as possible. There needs to be a balance between those that will get us there and those that will do the dirty work once we get there. Elevon, what are you doing? Nothing, I guess.
Running to the other side of the ship.
Just sprinting through the ship.
It's a funny thought.
Whee!
Whee!
Just
Whee!
Nemo, are you here?
Sorry, what was that?
I was wondering what Elevorn is doing.
Oh, right. She's just trying to find, like, a little spot in the ship where there's nobody for a minute.
Okay, easy enough, I suppose.
And then she's just gonna take out her pendant and be like, I don't know if that was good or bad, or if, like, ends justify means. I mean, it's just a thing, right? It's not so bad.
So I guess the question is, are you guys going to try to convince Yemen to stay on board or not?
I personally would like to, but I have my hands tied. Well, not really. I have no reason to have my hands tied, but I
Not
mean, Duran
literally.
doesn't know.
We can make it literally.
As
No.
opposed to the two that have already agreed to stay, who presently are going over with Hasside, Tick Tick, Waterstone, and a few other of the bandits that have made their way on board and have finished putting some supplies away, at least for the time being, and they're beginning to go around and show them the ropes, as it were. It doesn't seem like the other slaves have any interest in going back, not with potential freedom literally within sight.
So then I'm gonna use the bracelet. I'm gonna be like, do you think that Yemen and his family would be... I know that I always suggest this, but it's like that innkeeper guy said, nobody's at, Thwinbomb by choice. Like, maybe they'd be, like, if we promise to take care of his family in Ambervale, if anything goes wrong. And I mean, even just have him come, like, both ways. Like, even, I don't want to think about bad stuff happening to people, but offering them somewhere to live if they have nowhere to go.
Well, I'm glad Yemen is safe. At the same time, it could be said he kind of needs to take responsibility for this. A lot of this is partly due to him.
Well, I know, that's what I meant. In order for him to, like, more willingly help us, we offer, like, when this is over,
I mean, if money is what he needs, then that's fine. Even if I have to pay myself.
Oh, money? You think he'd want money? I just thought maybe having his family out of the desert would be better. Where there is no law and no protection. I was thinking that would be a good reward, but maybe money is the way to go.
I suppose either or can be offered. See what he wants.
Do you want to go talk to him? I can come back. I just, I needed to go. Oh yeah, I'll just come back. Yeah.
Alright, so I suppose Durand and Elevon go and find Yemen. who's standing topside near the other group of that's dwindled down to the last 4 slaves that are waiting for the skiffs to ferry them back.
All right. Well, um, yeah, I mean, I'll be
Yes.
honest with you. I don't believe this whole thing will be possible unless come with us. I'm not asking you to fight. I don't want you to. I don't want to put you in any danger. I met your family personally, and I want you to safely come back to them, but I also want to bring everyone else who is over there back to their families.
I just, I understand what you're saying, but this ship, the ship was perfectly capable of traversing the quicksand sea before my additions were installed in it. Certainly you don't need them. It's just
I imagine it was not nearly as fast or as efficient without your installments.
oh, well, no doubt about that. But I mean,
We need to get over there as quickly as possible. I'm sure you even understand that despite not wanting to even say it.
Can I ask you a question?
certainly, kind of.
Why did you agree to help the bandits in the first place?
It was both an opportunity to make some good coin, and it was an intriguing possibility to expand upon my creation and my inventions. They wanted something that was a challenge, a test, and I was enticed, let's say, and until I foolishly, I suppose, got spooked enough to run off. But yes, that was it. Certainly the pay. Otherwise, I mean, there was though we had a stable living in Twin Pond. There wasn't not much of a market for those local to for the things that I would create. I mean, other than the hoop, which is a recent invention, but probably my most successful one. It's a small market, Twin Pond.
What if, we could help you have your items in a bigger market or more markets?
What kind of connections do you have?
Quite a few, actually.
Interesting. Whereabouts are you proposing?
Oh, I'm sure we could get something set up in like Vasselholm and like Brushburn, and
Those are large cities. You can see him kind of thinking, Wibbles Tinkery and Vasselholm, of all places. Well, you say this, but who do you know in Vasselholm? Like, I ask this like I know anyone in Vasselholm, but you understand why I might be skeptical. I
But go ahead.
Probably
Sorry.
probably far too many people to tell in one tale, but many people.
I was wondering if the Chaos guy still owes us some kind of favor. I mean, we did help Josh out. He did disown him, though, so I don't know.
see. Well, if you could promise me at least the opportunity to get in front of some important business people in Vasselholm, you know, that's... I... mm, my ambition has gotten me into trouble before.
Well,
It's what led me
you-
to this place. My family's just...
You're also interested. Worthy is closer, and we have quite a few connections there as well.
You can see his face kind of crinkle up at Worthy.
There isn't a plague there now.
You can see him going between, like, his ambition for his business and then, you know, seeing his family. Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Also, just throwing it out there that, we'd be willing to take your family somewhere safe if anything happens to you.
So if something were to happen to me, it wouldn't happen to you as well, is what you're saying?
No, I was saying...
You have a way out that I wouldn't?
No, of course I wouldn't leave you anywhere. That is terrible. I just meant, like, if anything goes wrong and any of us survive, we would see to it that, if... Actually, I could send a message and have it taken care of by somebody else who's not anywhere near here.
Okay. Go to make a persuasion check.
That is a 14. Mm-hmm.
Alright, yes. If you can... I'm sure that these names mean probably nothing to you unless you own your own businesses. But if you can get me in front of the, in Vasselholm, or Brushburn, you mentioned both, the leader of the Merchants Guild, we could talk about expanding my business elsewhere. Yes. Okay, I will voyage with you. I will be here to oversee the hoops. And that is it. Yes, that's all you need of me.
Yes.
Okay. So I just sail there for all intents and purposes, and then sail back, do some maintenance as required, and that is all. Okay, I can do that. Yes, I can do that. I would ask one more thing, and that is, you have magic means to send messages to people, right? You could send a message to my family as well, could you not?
I'm afraid my ability to send messages, well,
No, that is perfect. Don't tell my family that this is what I am doing, especially not my wife. Do not let her know that I chose to do this instead of coming back to her. Okay?
Understandable.
Okay. Good. And we have a deal. So, with Yimin Wivel, the three of you, Haside, Tick Tick, Waterstone, the two slaves that sort of know how to operate the sails and whatnot sticking around, that leaves you with, let's see, 3, 6, 8, 9 people, so about a dozen bandits as well, to round out the crew of about 20, 21 people. The cargo finishes loading up, and two of the skiffs, the sand skiffs, are attached to either side of the ship, sort of as lifeboats, essentially, small craft. One of the skiffs, the bandits that are staying that are not going on, do take back towards their camp for them to use as needed. So it is the three of you and about 17 others. The Yuan Ti comes up to you, Elevorn. Whenever you are ready, it seems like we can make preparations for getting underway.
I'm like looking at this interaction that he went straight to Ella for. It's like,
You can see the two slaves as well are very sort of curious, skeptical, and angrily eyeing this Yuan-Ti. What is it doing here?
Oh, that
I'm
was-
here to assist you in returning.
I'm going to clap excitedly and be like, "Oh, that is great!" And then I'm going to kiss its cheek.
Doesn't react to that. But
Yeah, I know that's perfect.
is-
That's good. We're good.
I'm nudging Duen. Did you? What is it? What is she doing? I'm too confused.
So, is everything situated? I can do a quick walkthrough of the ship, make sure that all of our supplies, cargo, is stored for sea.
I'll walk with you.
Very well. So, Elevorn and the Yuan-Ti make their way through the ship, checking that everything is tied down, strapped down, and secured properly. In about 20-30 minutes, they return to the deck as you can see that a lot of the bandits, as well as the two slaves that are kind of running things and pointing people in the right direction into their stations, are ready to essentially get the ship going, hoisting sails and all that good ship stuff. Just say the word.
Word.
The bird.
So
Bird.
so the Yuan-Ti heads up to the behind the helm where there's the steering, where there's the wheel for steering. Is anyone else up there with them?
Me.
Okay. I will be honest with you. I'm not the captain of the ship. I never actually steered it. I'm simply the navigator. So, in this regard, I do not have much experience.
I'll take care of that. You just do your thing.
I shall point you in the right direction. Well, since you are here, I suppose you should be the one giving the orders to hoist and get underway.
Yeah.
Just takes a step back and stands, arms folded, snake-like eyes just sort of blankly looking at you.
Okay. Well, I will do that.
Alright. How do you do that?
I don't know how I do that.
Make for go!
Make for go. Go.
Ship go.
Forward!
Engage.
Engage!
Engage.
Alright. So, you gave the order, which is relayed in probably more appropriate terms by the slaves who kind of watch over and have to correct and shout at some of the bandits who kind of clumsily and unevenly begin to hoist the sails. No. You more, you less. Come on. Get the anchors up. Let's go. And eventually, slowly, but you do feel the lurch as you begin to move as the sails drop and pick up some wind. The navigator Yuan-Ti directs you, Duran, to kind of angle and set a heading away from the coast and further into the endless expanse of quicksand before you. So, you guys begin your journey for Slaver Island, I suppose. What else would it be called? You get a feel for it, Durand, and it is different from any small ship that you've been on, it feels, if anything, smoother to navigate, especially once you get up to speed. It's just like gliding more than sailing and cutting through the water, whereas a boat would be cutting through the water. This is gliding on the surface of the sand, really. So once you guys get underway and you get up to about um, your normal speed with on sail power, it's pretty exciting to be in control of the ship, but you are kind of course corrected a couple times by the Yuan Ti throughout the next couple hours, but eventually things die down as you guys are off to a smooth start, it would seem. Next day, 2 days on the sea pass with nothing. You eventually lose sight of the desert behind you, and there's nothing but just the vast expanse of featureless quicksand in all directions. Night times, the Yuan Ti, can be found roaming the deck, the highest point, looking to the stars and charting and comparing to what he remembers for navigation. What are you guys doing? Anything that you guys want to do? Also, long rest so you can recharge all that good stuff.
I make a meal for everybody.
Sure. Go ahead and make a. What's up?
And while Elvorn is making the meal, I'm gonna walk up to her.
Okay.
Well, first of all, here's your share of the gold, and of course that's 200 gold if it's split between 3 people.
Wait, what? Why am I getting gold? What happened?
It's just the gold that we found, and I didn't have time to give it earlier, so, you know, and you have been spending quite a lot of it.
Oh, right. Yeah, I mean, thank you. Okay.
And I'm curious, I mean, you don't have to tell me what, you know, you keep saying that you kept, you know, you just were brushing off the ash and stuff like that, but do we need to be worried about that snake guy at all?
I mean, he seems like he's doing a pretty good job helping us, right?
So far, but like I said, I mean, you don't have to say what you did, and I mean, you had, I mean, you know, you think he still might be able to backstab us? I'm just worried a little bit because, you know, I don't know what happened while we were gone, and
I mean, most people don't want to die, right?
true.
I mean, any one of us could decide to. Well, I don't know. I don't know. If you want to tie him up, you can.
I mean, I guess he is a bit more useful with his hands free, but I'm just otherwise, you know, curious if we should try to keep more eye on him or something.
I mean, you've been keeping an eye on him, and I've been keeping an eye on him, and I don't think Duran has forgotten about him, so, you know, we're keeping an eye out, but I mean, if you feel like more is necessary, then obviously that is good. We should do that.
I guess so far it's fine. Well, I'm gonna take some of this gold to Durand.
Oh, okay.
So, Elevon, go ahead and make a culinary tools check. Wisdom plus proficiency. As you use some of the ingredients that the bandits and yourselves have brought along. Lots of interesting spices and different types of fruits and vegetables that you're not necessarily used to cooking with.
It's so exciting! And it's a 23.
23. Nice. So as Drand, at this point it's coming up on sunset as you stand behind the helm, just getting a very decent hang of it. Go ahead and make a wisdom check for me for your vehicle handling.
$15.
Nice, you got a pretty good hang of it, and you've gotten used to keeping on course, but at this point you hear someone coming up the steps to the quarterdeck as you see Nenedion approaching, just as sort of the cooler air as the sun's beginning to set and the breeze in your face as the breeze begins to carry this wafting aroma of freshly cooked and savory, tantalizing food with it from below deck.
Well, how's it going, Captain?
Well enough, I hope. I can't say for sure when we'll get there, but definitely quicker with everyone here.
True. And you haven't crashed us, so that's good.
Well.
I came to bring you part of the gold that, we found. It's 200 gold.
Oh, right. That's fine. Thanks. So, did you ever figure out what strange, wonky thing is happening with our friend here?
No, unfortunately, she is keeping kind of tight lipped on that, but I don't want to pressure her, and I was more curious that, if how much more keeping an eye on we should, when he might, when whatever is going on with him might end, and but I didn't get a good answer. But
you probably just scared him real good.
Probably. And I mean, then again, it's just him, so even if he would try to turn against us or something, just way too many people over here.
Duran, from your position, you see at the mast, sort of climbing, skittering up towards the crow's nest is Waterstone.
Interesting. Look at that. I'll point over at Ordinary.
I'll look at it.
You watch as Waterstone continues climbing up, talon over talon towards the crow's nest, skittering up and kind of tumbling into the crow's nest basket thing itself before popping up and looking around. You can see the feathers being ruffled by the wind up there, as shouting away from you to no one. Just, yes, I am so high right now.
At least somebody is having fun. Then again, I think Elevorn was having fun down in the kitchen too.
Yeah, that must be the smell.
Yeah.
So,
Jesus, do I get a break?
You're cooking. The scent of your cooking, Elevon, has attracted many a bandit down to gather a plate from your galley area.
Why take a break when you can have the Duen tea feed you while you're, steering?
Well,
I'm only joking. I'm sure you need a break. You've been standing quite a lot.
As you're down there cooking, Elevorn, Haside comes up and grabs a plate that you are making, and you're kind of being put to a bit of work here, feeding the entire crew. Takes a taste of it. You made this with the ingredients that we brought on.
Yep.
That's very impressive. I believe some of them should be brought to your friends up topside. Tick Tick, can you grab a couple of plates? And the Thrycreen insectoid kind of pulls some plates and gathers them and follows his side up as you continue to serve the rest of the grateful crew. Dran Neredian, you're standing still behind the wheel as walking up the stairs to you with is Haside, who has a small bowl plate of food, and behind him the Thrycreen that is carrying 4 plates at once and hands both you and Neredian one.
Thank you.
spared me the trouble. Thank you.
Side looks around. What a plate for. Have either of you seen Waterstone anywhere around?
I'm
She
pointing
has
up.
not eaten it.
Likewise.
This
And follows
Just point.
you to Waterstone, who at the moment is just flapping her wings in the breeze. It seems like she's pretending like she can fly or something. Waterstone, get down here before you hurt yourself. We got food. The Kanku turns around, flicks its tongue out at his side, and turns to continue to feel the wind, the breeze in its wings. Don't think that Tick Tick won't eat yours if you don't come down here. And Tick Tick clicks a bit in its strange insectoid language. Waterstone responds in kind, and Tick Tick and Waterstone start clicking at each other from far ways away. I apologize for them. They are a bit, uncivilized, let us say.
No, that's fine. They seem like a merry band. All of you
There's
do.
nothing to be apologized for.
Eventually, Waterstone does sort of shimmy her way down and flutter over up the stairs to grab a plate from Tick Tick and starts to just kind of go through it, buries her beak in the plate. But you guys continue. I'm gonna roll for the Yuan T's navigational skills. Okay. So, Elevorn, everybody has been fed, or at least has come down to grab a plate. You are, sufficiently worn out from the amount of food that you've had to prepare, but also sufficiently satisfied with a meal well served and the happy, contented faces of the whole crew as you finish up in the galley here and pass by a bunch of empty, completely licked clean plates and satisfied faces and full bellies. Does anyone want to do anything? Obviously, there's going to be a time when you guys do need to rest, as you have been over the past couple days. You know that it should be about a week on the sands before you get to the other Yuan-Ti. So far, it's been about 2 or 3 days.
Ah. Guess I'll try to learn how to use the hoops.
Okay. So, the, Oops. So you go down to, you find Yemen, who instructs you on the way to use the hoops. Basically, there is a sort of crank, much like how the portcullis on gates, like, would work to raise and lower. But what these do is it lowers a bit of the hole to open up to the outside, while at the same time sort of extending these large light marble hoops outwards to extend. And Yumin explains, there are different notches, as you see, for alongside the shaft of the hoops. When you see them, that indicates a certain amount of angles for turning. So if you want to turn right or towards starboard, you would extend out the port side hoop a certain amount based on how drastic of a turn you wish to make. Similarly, and vice versa, for if you wanted to turn left or port, you would extend the starboard side hoop. And he just continues to sort of go through and just... if you let him go, he'll talk a mile a minute about this.
Yeah, I'll let him talk, but I'm gonna be very confused. Try to act like, yeah, okay.
So essentially, there's a crank, and so depending on how far out you extend the hoops, will affect how much of a turn if it's not even. If you don't extend them both evenly. So you can crank out only one to turn the ship one way, or you can crank out the other to turn it the other way, or you can crank out both if you wanted to just give a little, you're just engaging the thrusters, basically. And, although it's, also it could be very, very dangerous, as the ships like this, at least this one, as it was not built with my invention in mind, they are not designed to go backwards. But if you orient the hoops in such a way, they can go backwards, but I would not recommend going too fast, as it might actually cavitate the ship apart. It's not been tested, but it's possible. Theoretically.
I don't think we should test that out. No, I don't want to get us stranded in the middle of God knows where.
That would be bad, yes. Alright, so you have an idea of how they work.
Yeah, a
You
little
can,
bit.
you spend some time asking him, and then he goes over things slowly at time, going into more detail on the aspects that you're more curious on, and you get a general idea of, how this additional propulsion system for the ship works.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, but I don't know. Oh. Eventually, I think I'll leave and find a quiet spot where there's no people.
Okay. Yeah, there's most of the
room where
sleeping
we
quarters.
met the Yuan-Ti.
Yeah, that's sort of like the captain's quarters area you found as you guys have been going through and examining the ship. Most of the sleeping quarters are communal, Basically, sleep where you can on top of cargoes, gear. Just throw down a blanket, pillow, wherever you can find a flat surface, essentially. But the captain's quarters are a bit nicer. What are you doing?
I'm gonna take out the spellbook, Michelle's spellbook. I'm finally gonna look into it.
Okay. Now, the thing about spell books and spell scrolls, if I'm not mistaken, let me see. Do.
Hello, voices in my head again.
Hold on. Sorry, I'm... Okay, sure. So you go through the spell book and go to make an Arcana check, as you're not a caster. So deciphering the different runes and glyphs and symbols and seeing like what exactly they mean is a bit of a strange practice for you.
26.
26 Arcana check?
Just not natural 20 and plus 6.
Nice. Okay. How much time are you going to spend here for now?
2 hours, let's say.
2 hours. Alright. So you take 2 hours, and in those 2 hours you do decipher, I'll say 5 spells. You kind of go through and you see ones that are more tricky than others. You start with one and you get through it, and it's a charm person spell. And then you get to it, you're like, okay, that was kind of a little bit easy, but you kind of realize that you're in the zone, so you get to more difficult ones. So you find one for fly, one for fireball, one for I think, yeah, one for gaseous form, and one for dominate monster. And there are still more, but you kind of went to ones that were a bit more tricky to identify instead of going with, let's say, the lower level spell ones. So you got you knocked out of quite a few higher level, more intricate ones in this little sit down. Duran, Delavorn, anything else? Duran, the Yuan T, comes through to give you a little bit of his thoughts on where and how the navigation should be before he goes and heads off to rest.
If I'm done in the kitchen, I would probably, or the galley, or whatever it's called
Yeah.
on the boat kitchen.
Boat
Yeah.
kitchen.
Boat kitchen! Tree wizard!
Yeah, maybe. I would go find Ron.
Okay, go find Duran, see if I care.
Wow.
Wow, what
I'm
happened? What?
doing it anyway.
Alright, so you go and you find Durand, who you see the plate of food that you had prepared, or what's left of it is kind of on the ground behind the wheel where he stands, and is still just kind of standing and looking onward, making small corrections where needed.
Just going to wave as I approach.
I'll wave back. Wave her over? That's the right one.
Hi.
Hey.
I have no idea what any of that stuff was, like motioning at the plate.
Oh, really? It was quite good, and everyone else seemed to think so. Hope it wasn't too much work.
It was a little bit of work. I mean, it's more than just feeding you and Nerdion.
Oh, I imagine.
It wasn't bad though. It wasn't, it was okay.
Oh, it was. You're selling yourself short. It was excellent.
Well, I mean, thank you.
You know, good job with everything, really.
I mean, you're doing a good job, I think, probably. I don't know what you're doing. I mean,
Oh,
you're
yes.
steering, right?
Yes, most definitely. I think I'm a natural at this. I don't think there's anyone on this boat that could do better than I could with this. Of course.
You're probably right.
I am. I am.
You are. Wait, what? Are you okay?
No, it's funny.
What?
I don't know. You're funny.
I'm funny? I
That
think
was-
that's good, right?
Yes, funny is good. Funny is good.
Oh, is Guilty okay?
Yeah, he's hovering over. I'm afraid if he, well, I'm sure it'll be fine, but, and I guess he'll have to come down anyways, but I don't know. I guess I'm being cautious. I was afraid earlier if he landed on this thing, how that would be. I can, like, point him out.
I could like, if he gets close enough and like almost on the deck, but not quite. I guess I have to be quick though to polymorph him. It's like the best for a while.
He has found space on the deck to sleep and rest throughout the days that you've been out. See? The ship can support a guildie.
I guess the Yemen stuff is good.
So, what's that one's name? I'm going to point at the Pegasus.
That I don't know.
Oh. I mean, that's not really for me to name, honestly.
Well, I mean, it was your. It's not?
Yes and no. It's weird to think it's, because I guess, yes, originally the power comes from Bahamut through me to cast into the ring, but I don't use the ring, so I don't choose. She chose what it was, and so she should name it whatever she would like.
I'm going to take out the griffin and start to like wrap like a little bit of my stuff, my like binding, I guess, on it, because I wanted to like just sort of like hold it up into the air so it could, like flap its wings and things. But I didn't want to just like, oh no, you drop it and it just sails off into the quicksand. So like I said, I'm kind of like trying to, like a dog harness sort of deal.
So you're trying to construct a dog harness?
Well, just like a little bit, just like wrapping it around, like, because it's like if it falls, it's
Sure.
like,
Make a dexterity check.
She's holding it up so they can enjoy the wind, but with this strong mama grip
Yeah.
that maybe hurts it more than makes it enjoy the wind.
Not everybody is you hitching Ella horse to a cart, Duran.
That was like 3 years ago.
Yeah, but it happened twice.
It hasn't happened since. Give me another shot. That was year 1, Durand. I'm a changed man.
I'm a changed man. I'm a paladin now.
That is a 14.
Okay. Seems to, you think you do a good job.
It's just sort of there as a backup, like I'm
Yeah.
like just, What about for the griffin here? And like holding it out so it's like see what it does with the wind.
You're holding it up and it kind of yawns as it's kind of late, but it kind of blinks itself up, and once it realizes where it is and feels the wind, you can see it kind of kick its legs kind of excitedly and flap its wings, almost like kind of squirming in your hands. It's very awkward as it's kind of run flies through to the point where if you let it go, it would have no chance of staying aloft, but it seems to be, thinking it's doing a pretty good job.
I'll trade you for a minute.
You want to do this?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. You kind of briefly tell Elevorn kind of which direction heading you're going, and you take the griffin into your hands.
Oh, I can hold him higher. I'm taller.
You can get him even higher. Exactly. So, let me see. Unfortunately, you can hold him higher. And at being that much higher now, with you extending him so far up, he goes from being like, yay, I'm flying, to seeing how high up he is and kind of panicking a little bit.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I rolled a 2 on his bravery check.
Nah, not the bravery.
Poor baby griffin.
To the point where he's kind of like turning and just kind of clawing downwards.
Oh, God. All right. I'll lower him down.
You lower him down and just kind of clenches the eagle like talon parts onto the front of your armor, claw, whatever he can cling on to. It can cling on to. Not sure if it's a boy or a girl. Who knows? Schrodinger's gender.
So, have you thought of any names yet? I'm concentrating super hard on keeping the thing the way he said to. Yes.
Have I thought up a name of?
Yeah.
For the griffin.
Oh, Well, it has to be. Sandy can be for a boy or a girl, right? A boy and a girl name. Thinking of boy and girl names. Boy and girl names.
Alright, so Duran's gonna be contemplating that for a while.
Yeah, I'm figuring this out. Give me a second. I'll do it.
So we'll continue on.
Continuing.
This way.
Alright, so Netadian, You eventually your vision starts to go blurry from so long of just staring at that book. You have to close it and take a break for a while. Night has fallen. Those who rest go and find their places to do so. Duran, you do eventually need to sleep. You can pass the helm off to Haside, and you guys have kind of made this like 3-4 person rotation to who will be behind the wheel at any point in time. You're doing most of the work, and you're definitely involved in it. You and the Yuan T for navigating, but you do find your time to rest as well. So all of you do rest. Next morning comes, Durand, and you take the wheel again after having some nice little bits of breakfast. Make a perception check, Durand.
Dear. Well, fuck. It's a 6.
6. Alright. You continue with the course for the next few hours. Not really. No problems whatsoever. Until you hear some interested squawking coming from the crow's nest as Waterstone is sort of shrill shouting down at you and pointing out front. So for the sails pretty much right in front of your vision, it might be blocking some of your vision, and it might have been blocking some of your vision for a while now.
Oh god. What is it? Lay it on me.
You look around and you can see off in the distance, a bit in front of the horizon, is something other than quicksand. It looks like a large rocky outcrop or mountain that's jutting out from the quicksand. And you know by how long you've been out that you shouldn't be anywhere near land by now. And this doesn't seem like land, more of just basically something that needs to be avoided. But it's not too far. It's pretty far away. That's not an issue for hitting. But it's curious, a very interesting and distinct break in the otherwise monotony of quicksand that you've been staring at for the past few days. The Yuan T comes up, and you can see him on the other side, the far side of the boat, going up to the front, and then searching out, checking something, turning towards you, and kind of hastily running back down the ladder and across the deck. No, this is not good. This is not good. And he kind of heads up and it's like, I'm sorry, we were not supposed to be here so soon. Normally we're on the right track, but we normally correct course to avoid this place.
What do you mean? What's the problem?
It's There's a break in the clouds and a shadow cast over the entirety of the ship. As you see just the fleck of an image in the sky above, not sure exactly what it was, as it kind of disappears behind a nearby cloud, heading in the direction of that mountain, but then turning and coming back. Looking at it in the sky, it's hard to gauge size based on the distance. It's some winged creature of some kind, a bird. And you hear this shrill caw echoing and cracking through the silence down towards the ship, and begins to tuck its wings and come rocketing down towards the ship and the rest and all of you. And soon the scale of this creature becomes evident. It is, for all intents and purposes, a massive eagle-like bird with plumage of dark blue and red. Wingspan of maybe, give or take, 10 Durans.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Down before you all a massive rock. And that's where we'll pick up after the break.
Oh,
Oh,
well then.
10 rounds.
He's pretty big. He's
It's
big
huge.
bird.
It's almost like a baby dragon.
A baby dragon?
Jeez.
To be
Almost.
fair, the mini is a lot smaller than the actual creature itself. All right.
Okay.
Well, see you guys after the break.
Yes.
we're back. You see this large avian creature flies at ridiculous speeds around the ship, past the ship. You can tell just by the way it moves through the air in comparison to the way you're still moving the boat. This thing is at least 2, 3, 4 times faster than your ship is currently. And it does begin now to make its descent from about 200-300 feet in the air, rocketing down towards you at like 120 feet per second. Everyone go ahead and roll initiative, please. I already got yours now.
On. 21.
Heading down towards the center of the ship and the masts with their sails still fully down. Duen?
21.
21 initiative. How though? Oh, your boots. Okay. Well, with that then, Duen, from behind the helm, this large monstrosity screeching down towards you, you are first.
What could I reasonably say seems like the safest spot if this thing were to land?
The safest spot if this thing were to land. What do you mean by that?
Oh, well,
the safest
actually,
spot for it to land on the ship, or the safest spot for someone to be if it lands?
No. The safest spot for it to land on the ship.
That's tough because I assume you don't want it. You probably don't want it around your sails. So whether or not you want to leave those down is up to you. But sort of anywhere near the main deck might be problematic because that's where the main masts are coming up. So either where you are on the quarterdeck or at the front of the ship. Maybe is if you're talking about where it landing would do the least amount of potential damage. Those would be the places. Main mast, and you've got 2 thinner, smaller, shorter masts in front and behind it. But all of those are jutting up from the main deck itself.
"30-foot radius. Sphere centered on a point I can choose. Literally nothing fancy. I'm trying to think of something fancy. I'm overthinking it, I guess. Just...
At the moment, the slaves, Yevon, and the Yuan-Ti are currently scrambling to get below and away from this whole battle. Gildy and the Pegasus are around. Good.
It's trying to, like, it's full speed coming towards us, right?
It's coming pretty fast. Like, at the moment, it's still over 100 feet away, but at its current rate, it should be getting to you pretty quickly.
Okay. Damn, 100 feet away. Okay. I'm just gonna use Shield of Faith. And then... What was that weird move? Just in case it might hit me. Dodge.
That's weird.
Because it sounds so weird to say. It's like, I want advantage on not getting hit, so I hit dodge with my tank. And not like
Yeah,
an
right.
evasion tank.
Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Alright, Gildy's turn.
I suppose if he has the movement, if he can put himself between the ship and the bird.
With 60 feet of movement, he could. He's not able to get up to. Like,
No. I'm not trying to make him elevate further. I'm trying to make him stay near us, but between the bird and
yeah, he could do that. I can get him to stay on his stand, Gildy.
Behave, Gildy.
Be a good Gildy. We'll say that he's between the ship and the bird. Anything for his turn? Other than that?
I suppose hold an attack to see if we're gonna hit it. Well, if it
Okay.
tries to pass him.
Yep. So the rock does head down initially for the ship, but Gildy swoops in and kind of hovers there and to intercept, ready an attack, and the rock heads now straight for Gildy. Go ahead and make an attack for Gildy as it uses its reaction as the rock comes into range.
What was its plus to hit? I think it was 3.
That seems
We pull this thing up. Hold on. No, plus 5. So that's 21.
21 does hit, yes.
The damage is abysmal 6.
6 points of damage to the rock as Gildy lashes out with his talons towards the giant bird, which in turn is dive bombing. It kind of scrapes at the side of its face as its beak goes to impale Gildy. That is a 16 to hit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, where the hell is it? But yes, on top.
So Gildy takes 25 points of piercing damage as it is gored by the beak of this large creature that completely dwarfs Gildy in size. Next, its talons go to rake at your Dragonelle, and that is a 30 to hit.
Definitively.
And with that is 14 points of slashing damage.
Oh no.
Gildy's still up?
Yeah.
Alright. And he is currently grappled, his wings completely folded in against his body, clenched in the talon of this large creature that is now hovering about 50 feet above the deck, with Gildy clenched in his talon. Netadion, it is your turn.
How far is it away?
50 feet above where Durand is right now. So I would say about 60, 65 feet above where you are right now.
I'm gonna be a brave girl and run up the stairs a little bit closer to it, just in case.
Okay. What are you doing?
I'm gonna throw incendiary edge on it.
Okay. What's the range of incendiary edge? Just the normal dagger range?
Yeah, 20/60 feet.
Alright, so go ahead and make a ranged attack with disadvantage. Because it's outside of your normal range.
Okay, it doesn't hit.
Incendiary edge goes wide before returning to your hand as a wisp of smoke.
Fucking guards.
Anything else?
No, I guess I'll also prepare to dodge if it comes towards us again.
Okay. Pegasus' turn.
The Pegasus will go and harass the bird also. Just
90
from
foot?
behind.
Say, with dash, it would be able to get up to it, but it won't be able to get up and attack with only 90 feet of movement.
That's fine.
Up there, carrying it, but not quite ready to attack. Elavorn, it is your turn. As Gildy is clenched in the talons of this large bird creature, the Pegasus galloping through the air to get swiftly to get up behind it. It's your turn.
I'm going to jump and then become a lunar phoenix and fly directly at the big jump.
You're gonna turn into a lunar phoenix?
Yes.
Okay. What's your speed? Alright, so again, not able to get to it unless you are dashing.
Sure, I'll dash.
Alright, everyone's up there. Woohoo!
And am I within 5 feet of
I'd say you would be able to get within. The creature is so ginormous that you would be able to get within 5 feet of it without being in 5 feet of the Pegasus or Gildy.
Oh, and I want to be able to without taking damage from me.
Yeah, like I said, this thing is gargantuan.
Okay, fun.
Alright, so go ahead and I guess roll the damage. Whew! It's looking pretty rough.
It's a start. It's a start.
Is that your turn? Next up are the bandits. Oh, Eloquent's not there anymore. Paradox! Waterstone takes out 2 daggers, looks poised to throw them. Come on! Closer! Side takes out a bow and shoots at the creature. That is a hit. Yeah. Does 8 points of damage. Tick Tick stays down near the mast, takes out her polearm like weapon, stands at the ready. The other bandits are beginning to come up as the bell to action is being rung. They come up with bows as well and start to shoot upwards towards the creature. And it's some hits, some misses. You can see a few, as you're up there, Elevorn, you see a solid volley of arrows, some of them going wide and missing, zipping past, others impacting into the creature, but not even seeming like it's having much of an effect. Like some tiny needles in this gargantuan bird. Back to Durand. The rock now about 50 feet up, Gildy in its clutches, the Pegasus, the Lunar Phoenix, swarming around it. What you doing, Durand?
One of these. Compelled duel?
Yeah? What's the saving throw on that?
A wisdom saving throw, DC 15.
Is there any restrictions, like an intelligence score that it has to have at least, or no?
On a fail save, the creature is drawn to you. Doesn't restrict the movement. Spawns or attack of a creature. If he casts a spell, targets a hostile creature. No. Just stuff
Okay.
about if I hit something else.
If you hit something else. Alright, so what does it have to be? Wisdom saving throw?
15. Yeah, wisdom
15.
saving throw.
Alright. Doesn't have that much, but it does have a bonus to its wisdom saving throw. Not enough to save a natural 1, so 5?
We win. I don't know if this is a good thing
it has
or a bad
disadvantage on attacks against anything other than you?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. All of a sudden, despite all of the chaos and commotion going on around it, the arrows being shot at it, Durand, you extend your will, your divine taunting towards this creature, and the massive rock locks eyes with you on the ship below.
Please tell me that's a bonus action. It is not. God damn it. Okay. Alright, that's it.
And is it a concentration or no?
It is. Which
Is
means...
Shield of Faith also concentration?
Yes, it is. What do I have to do? How much damage do I
So
take?
you can take the damage, or you can drop the spell.
I'll take the damage.
Okay, so this is the first time the Thought Divider is coming in. So what are the spell levels?
1.
Both of them?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have disadvantage on Constitution saving throws to maintain your concentration,
Okay.
and it happens at the start of your turns.
Oh, okay, so I'll take damage.
Yeah. So since they're both first level spells, you're concentrating on 2 of them. You would take 2 psychic damage at the start of each of your turns. That you
Alright.
can't reduce or negate or redirect in any way.
Okay.
But is that your turn?
Yeah.
Alright, Gildy's turn. Currently grappled and restrained.
Gotta break out of that.
Go ahead and make an athletics or acrobatics check for Gildy.
What is he good at? Okay. He's like me. Good boy. That is a 19.
That is what you needed to break out.
Holy shit.
So Gildy wrenches and breaks through. That is his action, though.
That's fine.
Staying
Actually,
there, flying away.
he could probably fly away.
All right. It will take an opportunity attack, but it will be at disadvantage, so that's your call.
Wait, no, he doesn't.
What do you
He
mean?
has
Oh, flyby.
yeah, it's flyby.
Gildy gets 60 feet away. Like out of the way, towards you. Where's Gildy going?
Around me, but not like probably I would say like 30 feet away from me or something. 30 feet away from me.
Put Gildy there. Alright. And that's Gildy's turn, so now it's the Rock. Dwayne the Rock Johnson. I would like Eleborn and the Pegasus to make opportunity attacks if you would like.
Yes.
Go for it. Yeah. Go for it. Pegasus and Eleborn. The Rock swoops down. Completely, as the rock comes down to you, Dadan, it completely shrouds all of your vision of anything behind it, so you can't even see anything but the slight glow of Eleborn's radiant glow. You can't see her or the Pegasus at all. And then beyond, you as well are right in the face of this thing. Each beat of its wings threatens to, like, kind of stagger you, take you off of your feet. It's that massive. Everything dies.
Oh no. Guess I should roll for the Pegasus.
Roll for the Pegasus!
Did I need to add anything to for the attack?
Pegasus is that blocking still?
Yeah.
I can bring it up in the monster manual. I think it might be +6 to hit. If I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly from last time.
Yeah, +6. Okay. So 17.
That does hit. That hits too, yeah. So you are not dodging at the moment, Daron.
Yeah, I could not, or I would have.
Yeah.
8 points of damage from the Pegasus.
Alright, as it leaves, just bats it with its hooves in its back. As Elephant's radiant talons come in and do how much?
Yeah, 1 point each. Plus 5, that's 7. But I rolled 2 ones. 2 more ones. So
7 points of damage. Okay. Daran, against you first. The talons, as it reaches out, the massive talon comes from beneath the ship as it's hovering there in space and attempts to snatch you up. That is a 29 to hit.
Oh my god, yeah.
Can I use protective field on
You can?
Dawn? Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Alright, just the slightest bit of psychic energy that this creature has to go through. It's almost imperceptible to it as it snatches through, but it does reduce the damage somewhat. How much does it reduce it by?
Uh, 4 point. No, wait a minute. Reduce the damage taken by a number rolled plus your intelligence mod. Hang on. 5 points of damage.
5 points of damage reduced, so Duran, you take 18 points of slashing damage as your arms are pinned to it as you're in this crushing grip of the rock as you are grappled and restrained. Without the ability to defend yourself, it then comes at you with its beak, its mouth open wide, larger than your entire torso. It screeches at you, kind of making your ears ring as it then goes in for a beak attack against you with advantage.
Holy fuck, all those messages.
That is a 29 to hit again.
Yeah, that hits.
Alright, and with that, Duran, you take 25 points of piercing damage. Having come down 50 feet to do that, the rock then is going to fly up into the air, taking you with it. Feet laterally and up a bit more.
Can I have an opportunity attack?
Was not within 5 feet of you.
Okay. No, just making sure.
It's a big creature. And could you make a constitution?
2 concentration checks for me, Duran?
You have to beat a 10 on the first one and a 12 on the second one. As it flies by, it would have been within the long distance range of Waterstone's thrown daggers, so she'll take both of those with disadvantage. Missed. And hit! One dagger hits from Waterstone. Dealing a remarkable 6 points of damage.
13 and 17. Disadvantage.
Alright, you're good. I don't think you need to have disadvantage. Oh, right.
Yeah, disadvantage because of the...
Because of the thought about it, you're right. Thank you for remembering. Okay. Netadion, your turn.
I can stop concentrating on anything at any time, right?
Yes.
So can I stop concentrating on Compelled Duel?
Yes.
Perfect, that way I don't take damage. It's just 2, but just in case.
Yeah. Alright, Netadion, it's your turn. Currently, the rock itself is... It's about 60 feet away from you. About 30 feet out and about 20 feet up.
So far, bitch. 60 feet. So I'm gonna use Toll the Dead on it.
Okay. And that is a wisdom save on its
Yeah,
part?
wisdom saving throw.
Alright, it's wisdom saving throw, unnatural 20.
Okay. Then it doesn't take any damage.
Any bonus action? If not, it is the Pegasus' turn.
Guess I'll cast
It
Hex.
could get the... Oh, you'll cast Hex, got it.
Yeah, I'll cast Hex on it.
So, the shadows created by its own form and that of Duran begin to move and attach and writhe themselves around, marking it for your attacks. It is the Pegasus' turn. With its movement, it would be able to get to the rock or you, but it wouldn't be able to get to you and then the rock.
I'm taking the risk. I'm making it go to the rock, just because Durant is there.
Gotcha.
Never know when it's gonna drop him. So
Gildy was supposed to have a turn after Duran, so he can go after the Pegasus. Gildy's movement is not such that he would be able to do anything with it, but he would be able to move, so...
because the Pegasus is just there, if the rock is gonna drop, Durand is
So do you
ready
want the
for
Pegasus
that.
to be lower then? Like
Maybe
kind
a
of
little bit.
circling below
Yeah,
Durand and
maybe
the
a
rock?
little bit. Yeah.
Okay. Just holding
Holding
dash
action or something. Yeah. Whatever.
Holding a dash action to try to catch Durand just in case. Alright, sounds good. Gildy, it's your turn. Gildy, who is pretty rough, I imagine, right now.
Yeah. But I was gonna do about the same thing. So I guess.
Oh. So you want both of them to be flying around there? Or what?
I suppose keep. Yeah, keep them both. I don't want to attack with him.
Okay. Gildy flies around here as well. Not quite as fast as Pegasus. Just flying by, wounded, just watching, kind of eyes alight with determination and anger, and also just concern for Durand. That is Gildy's turn. That's the Pegasus' turn. That brings us then to Elevon. You see a lot of the bandits. You now see Hassad beginning to head towards the helm of the ship that's no longer under control. But it's not his turn yet.
How about this moonlight? It's a dexterity saving throw?
On everything within 5 feet.
No,
Oh,
it's
so-
just
A target, okay. Sure. I assume the rock, I would hope.
no, it's I don't know. I'm just kidding.
Alright, dexterity saving throw. That is a 19.
Yeah, whatever. It's
Is it half or? Okay. So this brilliant silvery beam of radiant energy is sort of lobbed from one's elemental phoenix form and grazes the rock itself. It flinches in reaction to the damage, but it doesn't seem like it's affected much. It seems very, very angry. Its focus now not on the dragonborn clenched within its talons, but now eyeing and scouring the ship before it.
So that's, better this time. It was 33 points of damage, but...
How 33?
Yeah, but it's halved.
So 16.
Yeah.
That's still not bad. All
These
right.
weren't all ones.
Moving?
Yeah, I'm going to, go... Or... Can I move so that, I go through it? But then also, I'm between it and the ship, so it'd have to, pass through me, I'm defending it, kind of?
Yeah.
But I don't want to be, in range of the round,
Yeah, you have space to do that with 90 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have space to do that.
But it's I want to make sure that I actually pass through its space, not clipping Durand, but,
D&D battles in 3 dimensions are a thing. That I'm not entirely used to. Good thing I have so many risers that I haven't really needed before now.
Okay, so that's better. That one was 7 points.
7 points of damage for going through it. Alright. And is that your turn?
Yeah.
Next up are the bandits. Hassad takes the wheel and shouts out to the others. Or shouts out to you, Nadian. Do you know how to... As he's trying to turn it and rotate the ship so that it's heading towards the rock and Durand. We need more speed.
I think, yeah.
Alright. And just in case, I think that we should lower these sails once we get the speed going so that this thing can't shred them. So, you down there, be ready to raise the sails. as he's trying to slowly turn the ship, which doesn't seem to be taking that much of a sharp angle. It's still kind of going on course, and it's slowly turning right now, but not enough to get positioned underneath Durand. The other bandits, a couple of them continue to fire, or with everything else around it. I mean, this thing is gargantuan, but so they do decide to fire. I'll say on natural ones, it'll hit something other than the rock, but otherwise, that's a natural 2, so it's a miss, but it doesn't hit anybody else. And then that's a hit. So some more arrows come and begin to pepper the rock, which still does not seem like it cares too much. Which brings us back to you, Drand, currently grappled and restrained. Just flying, you're like kind of held down, like trying to wrench an arm or two free, but you are currently being hoisted, flown up over the deck of the ship across, and now you are maybe about 70 feet in the air, just over the sea of quicksand. You can see beneath you, galloping, flying into sort of a circular holding pattern underneath you is the Pegasus, Gildy, as well as keeping his distance.
Alright, well, super easy. Restraints are easy. I just channel divinity. Take it off.
Okay.
Yeah, overwhelming
So,
tenacity.
That's an action?
Yeah, it's an action.
Alright, so you channel your determination and you muscle this otherworldly, this divine strength, and you free your arms. You're still grappled by the creature, but you are no longer restrained. So it does not have the bonuses of restraint against it, nor do you have the drawbacks of being restrained. But you're still grappled. And you have a bonus action as well.
Interesting.
What?
I don't know. I guess I didn't know that's how that worked. That sounds so stupid.
Oh, hold on. Okay. So you're trying to fall. I was trying to not have you fall, but you want to fall.
I want to fall. I want to fall on the.
Okay, I was gonna, yeah, sure. You muscle yourself out. You pull the talons across, and you are at a point where you're kind of like no longer being supported by the rock itself, but you're kind of hanging by its talons in your own strength. Let's see. The Pegasus was holding its dash action, so it could use its reaction now to move up towards Duran.
Yes.
Alright, the Pegasus uses its reaction, comes, gallops up. You're currently hanging on, Duran. As the Pegasus comes, you drop down and you land in where would be a saddle if there was one, but you're now currently on the Pegasus, and the Pegasus and you are moving away or staying there?
I guess it would move away, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's dangerous over there.
Yeah. You okay with that, Duran?
Yeah.
Alright. Does the Pegasus have flyby?
Ah.
I don't believe it does.
No.
Alright, so it the rock does get its opportunity attack.
I'll shield if it's not targeting me.
Alright, let me roll to see who it targets.
Okay.
D6, 1 to 3 is Durand, 4 to 6 is the Pegasus. 2, it's on Durand. That's a 22 to hit.
That doesn't.
That doesn't hit?
No, 23.
From what?
Shield of Faith.
I bet you dropped Compelled Duel.
Yeah.
Okay. So it reaches out again and attempts to snatch you back off of the Pegasus, but the talons just slip by as the Pegasus just begins to rocket out of range. Duran and the Pegasus. Where's the Pegasus going? I don't know if you want to. If I don't know how you want to do it, Netadion. If since Durand is the writer, if you want to transfer control to him or what.
I guess Duran gets the control because that
He's
just makes
not-
sense.
You want to do a mid-air mount transfer to Gildy?
If I could, yeah.
Make a dexterity check. Make an acrobatics check for me.
Acrobatics. Oh, that's nothing. So 12.
12?
Yeah.
Okay. I will say. Let me see. That as you're going and you see Gildy, the Pegasus, kind of begin to fly side by side, you call Gildy over and you kind of begin to sort of stand and try to steady yourself on top of the Pegasus and go to move over to the back of Gildy. You don't quite make it, you slip, but Gildy corrects and kind of swoops under and catches you, and you're now mounted on Gildy as the Pegasus continues on its own.
Okay. Excellent. All is well.
And that is now to would be Gildy's turn, but since you're mounted on Gildy, kind of movement is now tied with your character.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Did you have any bonus actions?
Wait, Guilty does not have a bonus action, no.
No, but Duran does. It's still your turn. Because that was your action and the Pegasus's reaction. So if Duran has bonus actions, you can use them.
No, I can't. Oh, that's an idea. Sanctuary on myself and Guilty, I guess.
Alright. So as you sort of clumsily make the transfer, Gildy catches you, you cast Sanctuary, the effect extending to your Dragonelle. Shrouding yourself in this divine protection. And now it's the Rock's turn. And the Rock is going to move towards you, Elevorn. The creature, the elemental that has, been accosting it with divine burning and swirling around it like an annoying radiant gnat. That's a 19 to hit.
Yeah.
As it flies towards you, its beak shredding through your elemental form. You take 31 points of piercing damage. As you are and it are kind of entangled in this mid-air death dance. It lashes out at you with its talons, attempting to grab and grapple you like it was Duran, but not finding anything as your mist elemental form kind of just sweeps through the talons, but it does rake against you. Then that is a natural 1. Does a natural 1 hit?
No, I don't think that does.
Alright. And so, let's see. I'm in 30 feet down. It's going to fly away from you if you want to take an opportunity attack.
Yes, please.
Go for it. It is going to soar 90 feet up.
That's a 17 hit.
17? Yes.
That is 18 with the talent.
18. Not bad. Which brings us to Netadian. The rock now about, I would say, about 100 feet away from you in total.
Yeah, but I'm needed downstairs, I think.
Oh, you're headed downstairs?
Yeah, and while I'm running, I'm like yelling, I'm sorry, I need to go down. We're gonna speed, I hope.
Let's see, 30, 60. With your dash, you would be able to get to where you need to be. Below, you can see that there's Yimin, the other former slaves who are now in charge of basically the ship's operations, and they're just sort of, what's going on up there? Is everything all right? What is that thing?
I don't really know what it is, but we need speed.
All right, you guys know what to do. Okay. And the four of you then begin to go and crank at the wheels that will lower the exterior parts of the exterior of the hull and extend out the hoops. So go ahead and make an athletics check, Netadian.
Eh, 7.
7. Thankfully, there's more than one of you on each, so you do manage to get it lowered and get them started to get out. Um, which, are we turning, or we could just need straightaway speed?
The speed was mentioned, yeah.
Okay, then do them equally. And you begin to get them out. All right, that should be good enough to give speed. So, and Yimin calls out the command word, and suddenly there's a thrust to the ship as the two hoops just begin to exude a ferocious amount of air, and the ship begins to propel itself even faster forward. Those of you in the air would notice the ship beginning to turn away from you as Hasside is struggling to keep it now. The ship itself is beginning to rattle a bit. Is that your turn, Neridion?
I think that's my turn.
Alright. Pegasus.
I guess the Pegasus is gonna try to land on the deck.
Okay. Easy enough. Elavorn.
Yes, hello.
It is your turn.
Well, because it's my turn, I'm going to regain 10 hit points.
Yes, you can.
And as my bonus action, I'm going to spend a third level spell slot and regain some more hit points.
Okay, do that.
All the hit points.
The fragileness of her crazy phoenix form is actually showing for the first time ever. You still have movement and action.
So I got 20 points back. So now I'm only missing a hit point.
Nice.
Alright.
Zidane, you can see as Elavorn's form kind of goes into this sort of spiraling ball, just this radiant moonlight energy as she comes forth and sort of bursts forth these scattering of sort of like moon dust like ashes as her form seems revitalized. What are you doing?
Okay, so I rolled a d8 and I got a 6, so that's Starfall. I'm going to do it. It's 3 points within 60 feet of me. Can I hit it 3 times?
I think that we talked about it's only once per creature.
It's only one per creature? Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Then I just fly up to it and multi-attack it.
Oh, okay.
Does a 16 hit?
16 does hit.
Oh, great. Well, that's the lowest thing I rolled. Okay, good. Like a 22 and a 16.
Okay, so both hit.
It's 12 points for the beak.
Okay.
18 points for the talons.
Okay.
Oh, wait, I hit both. Oh, I don't have a bonus action though. Oh, wow.
Aww. Could have saved a bonus action to see for later.
Instead, I'm alive, so go me. Anyway, do I still have movement?
See, it flew up. No, it flew up 90 feet, so no.
Okay.
Alright. That leads us to the bandits, who are currently working to raise the sails, and Hasside is working to attempt to steer the ship, relaying instructions from topside down to Netadion and the others below. It's like, tell them we need to turn towards starboard. And then you hear that message relayed to you, Netadion. Not currently in the moment. Yimin kind of takes charge of this. It's like, okay, we need to bring that one in more, push that one out more. And you guys react accordingly as Hasside goes and attempts to steer the ship, turning it back around. Otherwise, yeah, everyone else is pretty much too far out. I mean, a couple of arrows head upwards towards it. Only one manages to strike true, but that does 7 points of damage. Every little bit helps. Which leads us back to Durand and Gildy, now together at last.
I'm healing.
Do it.
I'm healing Guilty.
Oh, lay on hands for Gildy?
Yeah.
Alright.
I'll do 25.
Okay.
And move myself. Damn, they're too high up, aren't they?
They're too high up for you to go without dashing. You could interpose yourself between the rock and the ship if you want, but
Yeah,
not
I'll
not
try to
enough
get
movement to
myself.
get right up to them.
Okay. I'll use as much as I can to get as close as I can.
Okay. Are you trying to put yourself between them and the ship, or are you just a straight line towards them?
Between myself and the ship, yeah.
Okay. What you notice is Durand and Gildy are heading up, climbing up ever so closer. You're more or less in this area, Durand. Alright. Is that it? It would be Gildy's turn, but not in range to do anything.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Interesting. Gonna roll to see what the rock does at this point. It does have Elevon right there with it, but it was here for a reason. Does it Yeah, it's moving out of your range, Elevorn, if you want to attack it.
Yes, please.
Okay.
It's a natural 20.
Yeah, make me regret my decision instantly. No. It's a lot more movement because the ship has moved and has begun to move a lot faster since the hoops have been engaged.
Right. It's 13 points of damage.
13 points of damage.
Oh, wait, it's doubled. Wait,
Right.
roll more
Well,
dice?
doubled minus before the dice are doubled, so not your bonus, not the plus. So what'd you roll on the dice?
Do roll more dice or just double what I got in the dice?
Double what you have on the dice, and then add your whatever plus to hit you have, or plus to damage. So it was 13. 13 was with plus whatever you have, right?
Yeah, it was 5 and 3, so it was 8 and 8, 16 plus 5 is.
21.
Yeah.
Okay. It still looks pretty healthy, but it is showing the signs of battle, the wounds that it has. It might have lost a step or two, but it's still going strong as it flies down. Daron, you are between it and the ship, but it is so huge, so fast that it circumvents you and Gildy entirely and heads down towards the front of the ship where it lands. Netadion, can you make a strength saving throw, please?
Okay.
As you feel this giant thudding, you hear this huge crack, this large thud, and the entire ship rocks.
16.
Okay, you managed to maintain yourself. Tick Tick and Hasside do not, however, and they fall prone. Somehow, Waterstone is fine. Yemen goes kind of flying 5 feet back and lands on his butt. And the rock, with a natural 20, the part of on the front of the ship that extends outward, it clenches it with its talon and just snaps it off. And you can hear and see it, wings splayed out wide and screeching towards everybody else on the ship and everybody else around. It is your turn, Nenadion. From what you have heard, what you just felt, fair to interpolate that the rock is on the ship now,
Or at least did something to the ship.
or at least did something to the ship in passing.
I guess I'm gonna run upstairs.
Okay,
See
running
what
back
is
up.
going on.
You run up and are instantly
Yay!
met with the
I
sight
killed
of
the bird!
the large bird right there, pretty much in your face, even though it's like 30 feet away. You can dash to it if you want.
It's too close already.
Mm-hmm.
Is it 30 feet?
It's about 30 feet away, 15 feet up. I'd say it's about 45 feet away as you come up.
Why?
'Cause it's above you as well, so.
Yeah.
You have bonus action dash. You have action dash.
I'm gonna. For now, I'm just gonna throw my incendiary edge to it to try
All
to.
right. That's disadvantage again because it's more than 20 feet away.
$15.
15 barely hits.
Oh well. The flare.
Flare.
Yeah, I'm gonna use flare on it.
Flare. Fireball on the deck of the ship.
Yeah. On a wooden ship, of course. I mean,
Why not?
why not? So it must make a DC 14 dex save.
Okay. That's a natural 20. So it takes half damage.
Yeah. So 8d6 is still.
Plus the dagger damage.
So it would have been total of 24 for the flare.
Okay, so 12 for that, and then the dagger damage on top of it.
Seven points from the dagger.
Not bad. You can see some of the plumage going up in flames, as well as a bit of the deck smoldering and blackened from the instantaneous burst of flame from the dagger that now again returns to your hand. You still have bonus. And go ahead and roll the d6 for Hex.
Five from the hex.
Not bad. Alright. You still have your bonus action. You can dash. You can do whatever you can do with the bonus action.
Okay, fine. I'm gonna take the risk and dash close to it.
Okay, you're going right up to it?
Yeah, fuck it.
Oh, okay. Pegasus' turn.
I'll have it come nearby the rock.
Alright. With 90 feet of movement, it definitely can do that.
And then it's gonna kick it if it can.
Roll for kick.
$23.
That hits, yeah.
$10 points of damage.
Okay. Yeah. Wounds of battle definitely showing this creature, this large monstrosity is definitely slowing down, but as it does, it seems to be going into a bit of a fit of rage, sort of fight or flight kicking in. Elevorn, your turn.
Well, Oliver's going to come screeching down towards it,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna roll to see if I get my thing back.
Go for it. The silvery just streak as she goes and kind of tucks her phoenix wings in to dive bomb. As she's streaking through, picking up speed, becomes less like the form of a phoenix and more just like a silvery stream of moonlight.
That's fine because we're just gonna multi attack. If I
Go
can.
for it.
Just a 16 hit?
A what?
A 16.
That does hit, yes.
Woohoo. And a 23.
Yeah. So talons, beak. Hmm?
They both hit.
Yes. Are you going to do anything with that knowledge?
No, we can sit on it.
Yeah, I was gonna do the radiant burst thing, but I can't. I have to actually roll the damage first.
Okay.
For the other stuff, right?
Sure, you can.
I mean, okay, let's just not worry about the fact that I hit it. We won't worry about that damage. Let's just do the other thing.
No, just do your thing. So, coming streaking down, and as she gets closer and closer to the rock, you can see the form of the phoenix beak come down and pierce through the sort of neck area of the rock. Elephorn comes back, her form taken as she swipes at it and rakes across the creature with her talons. Both wounds are now sort of festering, glowing with this divine energy that begin to glow brighter and burst with additional radiant damage. So what is the beak, talons, all of that good stuff?
So it's 12 for the beak.
12?
Yes.
Okay.
And 17 for the talon.
17 for the talons. And the burst?
27 points of damage.
27. With that flurry and that final burst, you can see the rock itself is singed. In many places, you can see the plumage is gone through. You can see its bare skin. You can see it's flailing around. It looks like it's on its last legs.
Can occupy its space too.
Sure.
That's another 6 points of damage.
6 points of damage. Now it kind of begins to stumble back as Elephorn occupies its space. It's burning, it's flailing around. Netherdion, you have to sort of duck and dodge out of the way of this large creature. Each step sends a shockwave throughout the ship itself, rocking the boat as Hasside gets back to his feet and calls for the order to, like, slow us down, please! And Elephorn, as you're in the form, the rock stumbles backwards, falls over the side into the quicksand. You withdraw from its space and retake your phoenix form as the creature struggles to get free itself, but the more it struggles, the more the quicksand grips at it. For the moment, we are out of combat. Durand, would you like to return to the ship, please, as it begins to slow? Blah!
Yeah.
Alright. Duran, you come back down to the ship. What are you guys doing? As I fix all of this mess that I made.
Not making a mess.
Never!
I'd like to help with whatever it damages.
Where to start?
It was just a friend of the ship. It's not that much of a big deal.
Yeah, it would take some work to do. Obviously, it snapped off a bit of the bow.
I think I'm gonna go check, everybody, like, people. I don't know. Just in case. I mean, they might have not taken damage, but, still kind of like calm them down, ask if they're okay, and otherwise just kind of like check.
Yeah. You took care of it then. It's gone. It's gone.
It should be gone, yeah.
Jeez. The the what was it? The Yuan Ti is very apologetic. Very sorry. What are you guys doing? Sorry, I have to fix all of this nonsense.
Just taking a breather otherwise, besides the other things I did.
Okay. You can see it's not gone instantly. The rock itself is. It takes a while for it to finally end its thrashings and sink beneath the quicksand. The creature itself is hugely gigantic. The Yuan Ti is still around. Anyways, sorry. So, I need everyone to make a strength saving throw, please.
What the heck?
As the entire ship is rocked again.
18.
This time you can hear splinters of the ship.
11.
11, okay. Durand, as you are on the front trying to maybe assess the damage and try to fix the ship, a portion of the ship itself sort of explodes from beneath in front of you, sending splinters and shards and planks of wood in all directions. The ship itself begins to list and turn as what seems to be a giant sort of like sinkhole begins to sort of tilt and drag the ship inwards.
I'm not sure what to do about that.
What's your strength saving throw?
Oh, 18.
Okay. Netadion, you... where are you? You were down in the... underneath the ship?
No, I came
Where were
up
you?
from the. I came from up from the ship, but after the bird was in the quicksand, I went about and asked if people are okay, and then just took a breather myself.
Gotcha.
Maybe probably just sitting down for a while.
Okay. Yeah. This comes as quite literally a shock to you as you are thrust from one side of the ship to the other as the ship is kind of tilted now, and you take 4 points of bludgeoning damage. Elevon, you're flying. You don't need to make the save, but at the moment the hoops had been withdrawn by Hassad, saying to slow the ship down. The ship has come to a bit of a slow. The sails had just begun to be hoisted again when this happened. And Durand, in the aftermath of this, you all hear this primordial roar. Something in the sands has been disturbed. And as the initial shock settles, Durand, you see in front of you, towering above, is this massive, maybe 30 feet in the air, writhing tentacle. As you now face the Sand Kraken.
Oh my god.
Damn it!
Next time. Next time.
Ah,
It's almost like Nimue should be trusted when Zen says he's excited.
I mean, yeah. I don't trust him either when he's excited. So.
We need to move the camera closer to that. We need to, like, enjoy the terror of what you're doing to us. There we are!
That is. Mm. This is gonna be fun. Not.
There are currently 3 tentacles that have come up and like totally tore through the ship. One in the front, one at the back, and one towards the middle. There are 3 other tentacles that are currently around the outside, writhing around, and then this thing, you can see it, just coming out of the quicksand. No real way to gauge the entirety of its monstrous size.
But it's definitely bigger than the bird.
Yeah. The bird was a warm up. I'll just leave this. This is a nice scene to have, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty. Yeah.
Where's my bag? Oh, over there. Even though it should be on the ship.
It was probably wouldn't have stayed on the ship as it began to be, invaded by tentacles, and
Yeah, probably.
it's well within range to come pick you up if you want.
No, it's. That's for the future.
Future Neri to worry about.
Yeah.
Alright, and with that, since I don't believe we'll get through this in about 20 minutes, so we'll leave it for next time.
Okay.
And, potentially Griff's first session. Maybe his last with this character.
Maybe his last.
First and last.
First and last.
I guess he has no choice but to be like, take the role of random bandit his character is that, you guys never really got to know. Otherwise it doesn't make sense.
Who are you giving him?
No, I'm just saying like his character can be like one of the bandits or whatever that you got.
Oh,
like,
I see, I see.
Yeah. Sand Kraken!
Tentacle.
To the tune of Tree Wizard.
Tree Wizard! You guys should have seen it coming. I did drop a hint.
What do you mean?
Release the Dungeon Master!
Yeah.
That's too much.
Too much of a stretch? Well, I'm excited. I'll see you guys next time.
Of course you are excited.
Maybe think of alternative win conditions. That's all I'll say.
The freaking banishment and run. Banishment and run.
Yeah, banish that piece of
Just
whatever.
banish, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I just like looking at this. It's just nice.
And tentacles.
Yeah, you're
Breaking
into
our
that?
ship. No, it's breaking our ship. I don't like it.
Alright, good night, guys.
Good night.
Good
Good
job.
night.
You handled the birdie really well.
Yeah, the bird.
Night, night.
Good night.
Good night.